The smell is really, really intense. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. And today I'm tasting the Lot 40 from Canada. It's below 40 euros, dollars, pounds. I think in dollars it's a lot cheaper. It's 43 ABV, 86 proof. And typically my son Ben is tasting the Canadian whiskies because he was in Canada only a few years ago or 2 years ago, and my last visit to Canada is a few years longer ago. Yeah. So the Lot 40, I remember it as a very special whiskey because they tried to introduce that whiskey in Europe around the year 2000. I think, slightly past 2000. And I think there were three of them, and they did not succeed in getting the volume selling over Europe, so they stopped the distribution here. And so now they tried another time, different distributor, I think. And I picked that one out from the three, and Ben will taste the other two because I remember it as very special. So Lot 40 is a rye whiskey, and the Canadian whiskey is writing with a KY, not an E in front of the Y. So this is Scottish tradition, not Irish tradition. And they say Lot 40 is crafted in small batches using rye grain in a single copper pot still and aged in virgin oak barrels. This bold whiskey has been perfected through generations of master distillers. This is Canadian rye whiskey in its simplest form. Producing whiskey in a single copper pot still is weird, different. You can produce it in a single pot still, but you can redistill a whiskey a second time in the same pot still. So you might use it twice, but you're also able to distill just one pass, but then you have to distill very carefully and not to boil it to high temperatures or to high movement of the liquid, so that only the best alcohols are moving over to the condenser. Small batches, I have no idea how small batches are in Canada. In the US, a small batch might be 200 casks. In Scotland, a small batch is from 10 to 50 casks. I remember, I think the first ones came from Waterloo, but the Waterloo distillery is closed already. And then I think they moved on to Walkerville, but I'm really not sure if that's true. And I have no idea in which small room beside the big column stills they have this small copper pot still. No idea. Yeah. Canada is very famous for its rye whiskies because they use this hefty, intense rye whiskey and mix it with grain whiskies. This is like the Scots using grain whiskey and adding malt whiskey as the spice and produce a blend. So they have the grain whiskey and add rye whiskey as the spice. The Canadian rye whiskey is a lot stronger, more spicy than the the US one. So the US one typically is, still easy sipping, but the Canadian ones is in the pure form different. The smell is really, really intense. The rye is immediately there and so intense that there is some menthol in it and some cloves and probably those virgin oak casks give the very aromatic spiciness of fresh oak to it as well. Probably some plums as the fruitiness, but dark fruitiness. So this one is different. This has a completely different nose to a bourbon or to a scotch. It kicks in incredibly. It's peppery, and it's rye bread, and a little sweetness. It's sweety, brown sugar, a little saltiness showing through. There's no salt in it, but it remembers saltiness. In the end, a little bit of dryness, a little sour. And the aftertaste, it's really long, and the rye covers your mouth. There's the oakiness beside it. You can't tell which is the rye, which is the oak. Oh. And there's some bitterness. It's like paprika, this green paprika, which shows this earthy bitterness. Yeah. Cloves again. Very, very intense. Yeah, I remember it right. So if you're interested in a really hefty, intense whiskey, yeah, this is different. This is, I think, very good if you're looking for something special. Yeah. Yeah, with a little luck, we will see this whiskey over Europe more often in the upcoming future. Hopefully people go for this. So this is strong stuff. Yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned, there's more to come. And as always, feel free to share this video with